Hello students of class 11. Welcome back once again to Indrani ma'am's biology class. Hope that you all are fit and fine in your home and staying safely and studying on with your course properly. So in our last class we have been learning about the chapter of biological classification. Today also we will continue with the same chapter. Today we will start from the structure of the bacterial cell. Now a typical bacterial cell will show different parts. First is the cell envelope. The cell envelope is composed of glycocalyx, cell wall, cell membrane. The outermost layer is the glycocalyx, the middle layer is the cell wall, and the innermost is the cell membrane. Glycocalyx, what it is composed of? It is composed of polysaccharide, and it not only protects the cell but also helps in adhesion. Okay, cell wall is rigid and tough covering of the bacterial cell, and this rigidity is due to the presence of peptidoglycan. Cell membrane, what it is made up of? It is made up of protein, lipid, water and oligosaccharides. So these are the three parts of the cell envelope. The next is the membrane associated structure. The membrane associated structure consists of mesosome, flagella, pili and fimbriae. What are the mesosomes? The mesosomes are the infoldings of plasma membrane into the cytoplasm, and they can be described as intracytoplasmic membrane. Flagella, you know, the bacterial flagellum has three parts, namely filament, hook and the basal body. The pili, these are long tubular surface appendages which are made up of protein. The name of the protein is pilin. The fourth one is the fimbriae. Fimbriae, these are small bristle-like surface appendages of the cell, and these are composed of helically arranged protein subunits. Next part is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, what is that? It is the matrix of the ground substance of the cell, and it consists of carbohydrate, protein, lipid, mineral salts, vitamins and nucleic acid. And the cytoplasm here looks like granular. Why? Due to the presence of ribosome. In photosynthetic bacteria, there occur internal membrane system. It contains pigments, and so they are known as chromatophores. And some metabolic gases are also stored in the cytoplasm. Understood? The next is the nucleoid. The nucleoid, this is the main vital portion. It is the genetic material of prokaryotic cell, and it consists of single circular DNA. In some cases, DNA and RNA and a small amount of protein is also present. Plasmid, what are these? These are autonomously replicating extra chromosomal DNA in prokaryotic cell. Plasmids which do not confer any character to the cell are called cryptic plasmid. Understood? So three types of plasmids that confer characteristics useful to the cell are F plasmid, R plasmid and Pol plasmid. F plasmid means fertility factor plasmid. R plasmid, that is like streptomycin tetracycline type of plastid which are produce resistant to antibiotics, and coplasmids are the plasmids which are called polysins. Okay, so two types of bacteria are there. One is the gram positive bacteria, another is the gram negative bacteria. Gram positive bacterial cells, they retain the color, that is blue or purple, after gram staining, and the cell wall is very smooth and it is also very thick. These are gram positive bacteria. And gram negative bacteria, the bacterial cells in these gram negative bacteria they do not retain the color after washing with alcohol and the cell is very thin. Understood? Now we will know about the nutrition in bacteria. Two types of nutrition basically are exhibited by bacteria. One is the autotrophic nutrition, another is the heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition can again be subdivided into photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs, and heterotrophic nutrition can be subdivided into saprotroph, parasite and symbiont. Autotrophic bacteria, you know, these bacteria can synthesize their own organic food from inorganic raw materials. So these autotrophic bacteria are grouped into different categories. First is the photoautotrophic bacteria. Photoautotrophic bacteria, they use the light energy for the preparation of the organic food and they carry out an oxy-photosynthesis. That is photoautotrophic bacteria. Photo means light, auto means cell. So by means of light, they can manufacture their own food. Okay. Next is the chemoautotropic bacteria. Chemoautotropic bacteria are those bacteria which oxidize certain organic or inorganic compounds to obtain energy for the synthesis of their organic food. Now here different types of chemoautotropic bacteria can be nitrifying bacteria, which are oxidizing the ammonia to nitrite, like Nitrosomonas bacteria. Iron bacteria, that is Ferrobacillus, they are oxidizing ferrous compounds to ferric compounds. Sulfur bacteria, they are oxidizing hydrogen sulfide to form free sulfur, that is Thiobacillus. Such type of different chemoautotropic bacteria are found in nature. Next is the heterotrophic bacteria. Heterotrophic bacteria, those bacteria which do not manufacture their own food but depend on an outside source for their organic food. These are known as heterotrophic bacteria. Heterotrophic bacteria can be divided into saprotrophic, symbiotic and parasitic, you know. Saprotrophic bacteria are those bacteria which are free living and they obtain their organic food from dead and decaying organic matter, like Pseudomonas example. Symbiotic bacteria are those heterotrophic bacteria which live in association with another organism where both of them are mutually benefited, like Escherichia coli, which is living in the intestine of man, Rhizobium, which is present in the root nodules of legumes. So they are having mutually benefited from each other. Next is the parasitic bacteria. Parasitic bacteria are the heterotrophic bacteria which is depending on other living organisms for food and shelter, and most of these are causing diseases to the plants and the animals. Now what type of respiration is exhibited by the bacteria? Both types. One is aerobic, another is the anaerobic bacteria and anaerobic respiration. You know this type of respirations. Aerobic respiration is that type of respiration where oxygen is used up, and anaerobic respiration takes place in absence of oxygen. Now what type of reproduction is exhibited by bacteria? Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction by means of binary fission, spore formation. Binary fission, this is the most common method of asexual reproduction. You have already known this. Now here what happens, the cell is divided into two parts and with one daughter nucleoid is formed, and that part again redivides and another new amoeba or another new bacteria is formed. This is the process of binary fission. Another is the spore formation, spores, sporangiospores, arthrospores, gonidia, endospores. These are the different type of spore formations by means of which the asexual reproduction of bacteria is exhibited. Now what is the economic importance of bacteria? This is very important. There are bacteria which are beneficial to humans, other animals and plants, and some of which are also harmful to other living beings. So we will know what are the useful activities of bacteria. First, as decomposers. Now as decomposers, the bacteria play a very vital role in the nutrient cycle and they bring back the mineral nutrients to the soil. By this activity, They also help in disposing the waste materials. Understood? Second useful activity of the bacteria is related with the soil fertility. The nitrogen fixing bacteria and nitrifying bacteria, they are increasing the nitrogen content of the soil, and as a result they are increasing the fertility of the soil also. Example, Azotobacter, Clostridium, etc. These are free living nitrogen fixer. Rhizobium is also another example which is increasing the soil fertility. The next importance of bacteria is in case of ammonification. Now different types of bacteria like Bacillus vulgaris, they are breaking down the protein into ammonia, and the process of breaking down the protein into ammonia is known as putrefaction, and as a result they are removing the dead remains of the plants and the animals. In dairy industry also bacteria is helping a lot. Bacteria are employed in dairy industries in the production of curd, butter, cheese, etc. So curd, Streptococcus lactis is the name of the bacteria which is employed for the production of curd. For the production of the butter, Lactobacillus bulgaricus is used. For the formation of cheese, Streptococcus lactis is used. So these are the different types of bacteria. In the production of the antibiotics also bacteria is used. Now antibiotics, what? These are the metabolic products of certain microorganisms. Basically these are the antibiotics. What are antibiotics? These are the metabolic product of certain microorganisms which are harmful to other microbes. So for the production of antibiotics also bacteria is useful. In industrial product also bacteria is used. Industrial product means bacteria are employed for the industrial production of many organic compounds like lactic acid, like acetic acid, in the formation of lysine, in the breaking of fibers. Different types of bacteria are used. Symbiosis for the formation. Escherichia coli, which is living in the human intestine, they are helping in the production of different types of vitamins. Ruminiococcus albus, which is living in the stomach of the ruminant animals, they are helping to digest the cellulose. In this way bacteria is helping. It is also helping in the sewage disposal. How? Both anaerobic and aerobic bacteria are employed in the sewage disposal. Methane is liberated as a byproduct and that is used as biogas. In the process of genetic engineering also bacteria is used. In the process of bioremediation and bioleaching also these bacteria are used. Now what are the harmful effects of bacteria? Food poisoning. Bacteria like Salmonella, Clostridium, what they are doing? They are causing food poisoning. The consumption of such type of food materials will result in different types of stomach disorder. Next harmful activity of bacteria is denitrification. Bacillus denitrificans, what they are doing? They are releasing free nitrogen gas into the atmosphere and breaking down the fixed form of the nitrogen like nitrate and nitrite, and thereby they are decreasing the fertility of the soil, right? And different bacteria are also causing different diseases of plants and animals also. Cyanobacteria, what is cyanobacteria? This is a gram-negative photoautotropic organism and they are aquatic and some are also found to grow on the moist soil, moist rocks, tree trunks, etc. Now this is all about the bacteria. Now what is the economic importance of cyanobacteria? Cyanobacteria example like nostoc, Anabaena, these are used as biofertilizer to increase the fertility of the soil. Anabaena is also used to prevent soil erosion. Nostoc is used for reclamation of user land. Spirulina is cultured and that is used as cattle feed and human food because it is very rich in protein. Different species of Anabaena are also used to check the growth of larvae of mosquito. Cyanobacteria cause damage to the building in rainy season. This is the effect of cyanobacteria. Now what is actinomycetes? Actinomycetes are unicellular, branched, aseptate, filamentous mycelial bacteria. They are formed by radiating colonies, and these were formerly also known as ray fungi. These actinomycetes are gram-positive and their cell wall contains mycoic acid. These are occurring in damp soils, freshwater bodies, manure, and also in the food products. Till this much today. We will continue the remaining portion in our next class. Thank you.